We all know what a scapegoat is, but do you know where it comes from? Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. This is going to be a little confusing at first, owing to the updates in Bible translation between the 16th century and today. In Leviticus 16, we read about an odd practice related to sacrifices for sin offerings. Here's how it's translated in the New Revised Standard Version, which is similar to many modern translations. Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering for himself, and shall make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall take 2 goats, and set them before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and Aaron shall cast lots on the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord, and the other lot for Azazel. Aaron shall present the goat on which the lot fell for the Lord, and offer it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be presented alive before the Lord to make atonement over it, that it may be sent away into the wilderness to Azazel. When he has finished atoning for the holy place and the tent of meeting and the altar, he shall present the live goat. Then Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it all the iniquities of the people of Israel and all their transgressions, all their sins, putting them on the head of the goat and sending it away into the wilderness by means of someone designated for the task. The goat shall bear on itself all the iniquities to a barren region, and the goat shall be set free in the wilderness. The question turns on the translation of the strange word Azazel. The King James Version, among others, translates this word as scapegoat. More modern translations tend to render it as a proper name, maybe meaning some sort of evil spirit. But whether you translate it as scapegoat or as an evil spirit named Azazel, the overall meaning is the same. The priests choose 2 goats and cast lots to see which one will be sacrificed on the altar and which will live but be cast out into the wilderness to carry away the sins of the people. Oftentimes, older antiquated biblical language, even when corrected in the light of later scholarship, remains in our common lexicon. The scapegoat is one such word. It likely comes from the idea of a goat that escapes or is sent out, hence escapegoat, shortened to scapegoat. Turning from the original meaning of the word Azazel, the idea of this procedure is really interesting. For the most part, when people made sin offerings, it would be either in the form of an animal or grain sacrifice. But in this case, part of the process involves the priest laying hands on the head of this goat and then sending it out into the wilderness, where it physically removes the sins of the people from their midst. Or to put it differently and perhaps more accurately, the priest does 2 separate things, one of which is broadly consistent with the practice of sin offerings and which is absolutely unique to this situation. Having chosen 2 goats and then having chosen by lot which goat would be slated for sacrifice and which would be the scapegoat, the priest offers the first goat as a blood sacrifice. Then he takes the blood of the goat and enters the Holy of Holies and sprinkles the blood on the mercy seat. Only afterward does he do the usual sprinkling of the blood on the altar outside. This in itself is a really interesting move, and one that happened only once a year. It signified the cleansing of the sins of the whole nation, the blood being taken into the most sacred space in ancient Judaism, the Holy of Holies. It signifies that the sins of the people are forgiven. Now comes the fun part. The priest returns from inside the Holy of Holies and lays both hands upon the head of the scapegoat, signifying the laying of the sins of the whole people upon that goat. The goat is then led away into the wilderness, never to return again. It apparently signifies that not only are the sins of the people forgiven, but they are also put out of sight. In a word, they are forgotten. It is an extremely powerful symbol, one that is unique to this day and to this situation. It is, to make the point clear, a strong manifestation of God's grace. I've spoken before about the laws of sacrifice being a means of grace provided by God, but perhaps none is more dramatic than this one. It is really all about demonstrating to the people in dramatic fashion that their sins are not only forgiven, but they are put out of mind. Quite a difference from our modern sense of what a scapegoat is. Tomorrow, one of my favorite terms of the Old Testament, Ebenezer. But now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.